Hey, it's Jaden.
And Melissa.
And Christy.
We're the co-founders of Launchers Academy.
And we help dropshippers become successful by providing the most relevant e-commerce strategies.
You're tuning into the Launchers Academy podcast experience,
where you will learn all the ins and outs of how to build your very own successful dropshipping store.
So kick back, take lots of notes, and let's make money this year.
In today's episode, I'm going to be talking a bit more about websites and how you can really speed up your website so that you can make more sales. Now, why is this important? Well, first of all, people have very short attention spans nowadays. And if your website doesn't load in under 3 seconds as they're clicking through your ad and going onto your website, waiting for it to load, then you can really lose them. And that means losing a purchase. So that's so important to really optimize your website so that you can make sure that it loads within 3 seconds so that people can actually go through the purchase process and look at your landing page and look at the product, click purchase, and go through the whole purchase process. So that's super important. You really want to focus on optimizing your website speed. Now, how do you do that? I do want to talk about 4 tips here today that I always share with a lot of people that are looking to start their website and wanting to optimize it so that they can really increase their conversion rates. So number 1 is when it comes to your media. Media is super important because oftentimes that's what's loading as people go onto your website. So your media includes images and videos. Those would be the more, heavier side of content that's loading. So when it comes to your images, you really want to make sure that it's under 500 kilobytes. Now, this is a very optimal file size so that it can load a lot faster. And that's also affected by, the size of the image, how much data is being loaded within the image. So you want to make sure when you are uploading your images on your website to check the file size to be under 500 kilobytes. And when it comes to videos as well, I would actually suggest in the initial stages to not use too much videos. If so, for your landing pages, you'll likely be creating GIFs as well, and making sure those are short and small size, again, as they're loading throughout your page. So super important to remember this. Make sure your images are under 500 kilobytes, and that can help you speed up your website as the content is loading. So number 2 is not downloading too many apps. So this is a very important point that we often talk about when you are creating your Shopify store, to not download too many apps because the apps can leave code that slows down your website. And you don't want that because, again, if your website loads too long, then you could lose people as they're waiting for your content to show up. Now, how you can combat this if you do have a lot of apps is to hire a developer to help you clean up your code. There's a lot of developers out there that can help you touch up your code and cut out any scripts that you don't really want to include in your code that's not helping you at all, and especially for apps that you don't use anymore. So that's super important to not download too many apps, and also have someone clean up your code if you do have a lot of apps that you downloaded, or you just want to have them go through your code and to make sure that it's very concise and not have too many extra scripts that are not really helping you with your website that you don't need anymore.
Hey, it's Jaden. Are you enjoying our episode so far, or our episodes before that? Well, if you are, we just want to thank your loyalty and support for listening to our podcast because we cannot grow without you. So that's why up to this point, we're going to give you exclusive access where no one else has in order for us to help you succeed in dropshipping. And this is how it's helped our students become successful. And what we are going to share with you is one of our proven steps in order to find winning products that we believe you would enjoy. So in order for you to claim your exclusive access, all you have to do right now is open up your desktop or your mobile and go to launchersacademy.com/method. That's launchersacademy.com/method. And you'll get a lot of value from there. And also, more importantly, you'll find out exactly how to find your winning products and how it's helped our current students find their winning product, and you'll be on your way to success. So that's launchersacademy.com/method.
And then lastly, I would say when it comes to picking your theme, I think the theme is also so important. You want to keep it simple, and the theme does affect your loading speed as well. So just making sure that when you are picking your themes, and there are a lot of themes on Shopify that you can look through to make sure that the theme is simple enough, so nothing too fancy, no pop-ups. Email pop-ups does slow down your website, and especially at the initial stages, you don't really need email marketing. So to really make sure you disable that so that doesn't load. And then also making sure that you don't have too much fancy effects going on your theme. Just keep it as simple as possible so that when people go onto your website, it loads in under 3 seconds. And now also you want to check there are a lot of tools out there to help you check your website speed, and that can help you give a sense of how fast your website is loading so that you can optimize it as best as possible. You can gather all the data through those analysis and send them over to a developer to help you touch that up as well. So those are my tips there. And just to summarize, you do want to really optimize again for mobile and desktop, especially on mobile. People are clicking through your ad and they're on their phone. They have very short attention span, so you want to make sure it loads really fast, so under 3 seconds. And how you do that, just to summarize, number one is keeping your images and video file sizes small. Number two is not downloading too many apps. And then number three, cleaning up the code, working with the developer to help you cut down on any extra scripts that you don't need. And then number four, keeping a very simple theme that doesn't have too many fancy effects that can really slow down your website and doesn't really actually help you. And that can be more, once you do find your winning product and you start building a brand, you can focus more on adding to your theme and adding more elements to it, making it look nicer. But that's definitely on the later stages once you do find your winning product. At the beginning, you just want to keep it as simple as possible, cut down on any extra elements on your website, any extra apps you don't need, so that it can load really fast. And then also so that you can also capture the sale and not have too high of a bounce rate, which is when people go into your website, they don't make a purchase and they leave. So you don't want that. You want to have them go through your whole purchase process, looking at your landing page, going through the checkout, and you want to make that as smooth as possible for them. So those are my tips there, and I hope that you can really take away a lot of these and execute them. Make sure you keep your website loading under 3 seconds. So do listen back again and do all that to your website to optimize it so that it loads fast on both mobile and desktop. And with that, thank you for tuning in and see you next time.
Did you enjoy this episode?
If you did, which we believe you did, as we dropped a ton of value,
Support us by giving us a 5-star rating.
That's 5 stars, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars.
also, we'd love to hear from you, so please leave your comment below.
And we'll be sure to get back to you. Take care, and until next time.